Edward and the Royal Engine. 1958. The Fat Controller was at Tidmouth. Gordon, Henry, and James were preparing to leave with their evening trains. "Hurry up with my coaches, Duck. The express cannot be kept waiting." "Just hold your breath, Gordon," Duck replied. Gordon snorted. The Fat Controller stepped out of his office just as the mailman arrived. "Sorry, sir. This was supposed to be delivered this morning, but I got mixed up in my bag." The Fat Controller laughed. "Oh, it's quite all right. Thank you." He examined the letter. "I've seen this kind of letter before, but that was when we had a visit from..." He flipped the envelope over. "The Queen!"
The Queen?
"Is she coming to visit us again?" asked James. "Who will be pulling a train?" Gordon asked, rather enthused. "Settle down," said the Fat Controller. "I haven't read the letter yet." "Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II requests the company of Sir Charles Chopham Hatt, who is to receive a special award for his services to not only the North Western Railway, but also British Rail and his service overseas." The staff and engines cheered. "Well done, sir." "Please attend Buckingham Palace at 3 o'clock on Wednesday." "But that's tomorrow." The big engines all spoke at once.
I can take you, sir."
Hold on, there's a bit more to read." "By the request of young Prince Charles, the engine who brings you to London must be Edward the Blue Engine." "Edward!" Just then, Edward arrived with his evening commuter. "Sorry I'm late, sir. There was a problem at Sudbury and I had to..." "I'm not that late, am I?" he asked. "Not at all, Edward," said the Fat Controller. "In fact, I need you to have an early night. Tomorrow, you and I are off to London." In the morning, Edward's crew oiled and greased him for the long journey. They gave him a nice hose down and applied banners to either side of his cab and tender. He felt very smart. He puffed over to the station to see the other engines. The Fat Controller and his family were waiting, with one of the VIP coaches on the platform. "Here you go, Edward," said Duck. "Ship shape and Swindon fashion." "You look amazing," said Thomas. Gordon grumbled. "I still don't understand why Edward was chosen. I know the way to London and have been there before." "Not the station names again, Gordon," sighed Henry. "I just wish they'd make their minds up on what to call London Station." "But that still doesn't answer my question. Why Edward? He doesn't even know the way." The Fat Controller and his family walked to the coach. "Because the young prince has specifically requested him, Gordon, and I must comply." The family happily climbed into their coach. "Now everyone, whilst I'm away, Choby is in charge. Listen to her, and you won't go wrong." "He's talking to you, James," said Percy. The engines laughed. So did the Fat Controller. "Let's go, Edward. London awaits." The guard's whistle blew, and Edward puffed out of Tidmouth. Edward felt very important as he left the island. Whilst on their travels, Edward found he didn't remember the way to London. It had been Gordon who led him and the other engines to the big exhibition 2 years prior. He found himself in a small canal yard. "Is this the right way?" asked Stephen. "I don't think so," Edward replied. "I've never seen this place before." He stopped on a siding underneath a blue gantry crane. "Who goes there?" called the crane from overhead. "Hello, my name's Edward. What's yours?" The crane looked down. "My name is Beresford." "Nice to meet you," said Edward. "We're on our way to meet the Queen. I don't suppose you know the way to London." "Oh, sure I do." Beresford turned around, facing his hook down the line. Without meaning to, he clipped the left side of Edward's cab, and the banner ripped off. It floated away in the wind. "My banner!" "Oops," chuckled Beresford, his face turning red. "Sorry." Edward sighed. "It's all right. Now, which way do I go? Straight down that track, and it's left at the next junction. Right, said Edward. No, left! Exclaimed Beresford. Edward was confused. You said right, and I said left, when in reality I was right and you were left. Wait, what? Oh, you've got me in a muddle now. Edward put on a smile. I better be off. Thanks for the directions. And he chuffed out of the yard. Righto, Edward! Or was that left? Soon they arrived at the junction. Edward had become a bit puzzled. He said, righto. Perhaps we should go right. So Charlie threw the switch and Edward set off. But he had been wrong. The track he chose went through an old overgrown line. Trees and branches were along the rails. His paint got scratched, and the banners on the other side of his cab and all over his tender all got picked off. Oh no! He exclaimed. He was very upset. What's the matter? Bridget called as she and her father leaned out of the window. Suddenly, my hash! Exclaimed the Fat Controller. My chute! Edward quickly stopped. Sir Charles's hat had been snagged on a branch, and the other had ripped his suit. Charlie quickly ran back and retrieved the hat. What am I going to do? The Fat Controller lamented. I'll have to hide the rip so Her Majesty doesn't see it. Soon, Edward was out of the woods. He stopped at a signal waiting for the points to be set for him. We should be on the right tracks now, everyone, and then we'll be home and dry. A big express diesel thundered through, splashing Edward, the coach, and the Fat Controller with mud. Oh, botheration! We can't meet the Queen looking like this. We'll just have to hope for rain, Edward sighed. Soon, they arrived at a small station. The station master walked up, surprised to see a Northwestern engine in such a state. Goodness, what happened to you? It's a long story, said Edward. We're in a bit of a time crunch, and we need to get to London, the Fat Controller said, climbing onto the platform. Can you show me where I can get cleaned up? Certainly, sir. Right this way. And you better find a wash-down shoe, Edward, he said, walking into the station. The rest of the family decided to stretch their legs. Bridget and Stephen were excited. Where are we? Asked Bridget. Maybe this is Crewe, where Hemming was rebuilt, said Stephen. Or Doncaster, where Gordon was built. Lady Hat snickered at her children's wonders. Just then, a large red engine backed down onto the siding next to Edward. And just what do you think you're doing with my coach, little engine? Edward was confused. Your coach? But this is mine. Straight from... I can't waste time listening to your excuses. Now couple it up to me, and we'll forget all about this. The station master walked over. I think you'll find this coach belongs to this engine, Duchess. Yours are being checked over in the carriage shed. The engine blushed. Oh, I'm sorry. Carriage shed, you say? Right. Excuse me. Embarrassed, she puffed away. Edward chuckled. What an odd engine. He soon found the washdown. He was about to move into the siding when he was bumped from behind. Whoa! He went right into a line of coal wagons and was covered from funnel to firebox in soot and dust. Coughing, he backed up to see who had bumped him. Oh, you again. It had been the big engine, looking more embarrassed than ever. Oh, I'm sorry, she stammered. For being rude. I'm pushing you into those trucks. My coach, I thought you were taking it. I have some very important passengers to collect. Edward gave an understanding look. Oh, how rude of me. My name is Duchess of Hamilton. My friends call me Duchess. It's nice to meet you, Duchess. My name is Edward. Edward of Sodor. Duchess began stammering again. Oh, I have so much to do. Let's see. Getting cleaned, polished, finding my coaches, refueling, picking up my passengers. Oh, I know I'm forgetting something. All done now, your grace, said a worker. They had finished cleaning Hamilton. I have to go. Thank you, Edward. And she puffed away. Edward rolled into place, but there was a problem. Sorry, mate. The water tank's empty. We'll need to refill again before we can wash you. Edward sighed. Looks like I'll have to get cleaned in London. He puffed back to the station, still dirty. The Vat Controller was waiting on the platform, trying to wipe the mud off his suit. He was shocked to see Edward.
I thought you went to the washdown, Edward. You look worse than before.
Sorry, sir, said Edward. I had a slight mishap and there's no water left. The station master arrived. There's another washdown further down the line, sir. I'll telephone and let them know you're on your way. Walked into the office.
I'll have to see about buying a new suit when we get to London, Edward. At least my hat's still a one piece.
Just then, a fast goods train rumbled by, and his hat flew off. A passenger bumped a luggage trolley. One of the suitcases fell off and crushed the Vat Controller's hat. He quickly grabbed his squashed hat, lamenting the loss. Then he looked at the clock.
Oh dear. We've got less than 1 hour to get to London. Everyone back in the coach, hurry!
Everyone clambered back aboard. Edward's crew steamed him up, ready for the journey. Forget the washdown. Let's go! As soon as the signal dropped, Edward raced away. Unfortunately, Edward's fireman Sidney fell ill during the trip. He took refuge in the coach. Edward and Charlie tried to manage without him, but they were moving at a very slow speed. Whilst on their travels, Hamilton came up alongside them. Oh, hello again, Edward of Sodor. Oh, Hamilton, I see you found your coaches. Yes, thank you. Oh, and thank you for letting me go before you at the washdown. That was very kind. Edward smiled. No problem. Back on Sodor, we help one another. Well, yes, but not every engine would have been so gallant. Edward smiled, thinking of Rheneas and what he had done for his passengers so many years ago. I don't understand, though. Suddenly, after I'd been so rude to you, you were being so kind. I was in such a tizzy about my important job, I just didn't want anything to go wrong. Edward understood. Do you remember what you have forgotten? Hamilton stuttered. Well, I hope so. I'm not sure. Either way, it's too late to worry about it now. I have an important delivery and I can't be late. I hope we'll meet again soon, Edward, the gallant engine. She puffed away quickly. Edward chuckled. I'm sure she'd like Rheneas.
Come on, Edward. Can't you go any faster?
Called the Vat Controller. I can try, sir, but with Sid out of commission, we're having trouble keeping up steam. The Vat Controller rubbed the bridge of his nose. I can make it, growled Sidney.
No, you stay right there,
said the Vat Controller. He pulled the emergency brake on the coach. Edward quickly came to a stop. The Vat Controller clambered down and into Edward's cab.
I shall be your fireman, Edward.
But, sir, you'll get filthy.
You can't run a railway without getting your hands dirty, Edward. What's more important is that we get to London on time.
He picked up the shovel and scooped plenty of coal into Edward's firebox.
Let's get going. We have no time to lose.
With more coal in his firebox, Edward felt better at once. Steam was rising, and he picked up speed. They were making up for lost time. As they rounded a corner, however, Edward noticed something up ahead. 2 red coaches and a large red engine to boot. Duchess! He called and stopped alongside her. Oh, I wasn't expecting to see you again so soon, Edward. My safety valve burst. That's what I was forgetting. To have it checked over. Now my passengers will be late for their important meeting in London. We need to get to London too, said Edward. Oh, I have an idea, said Duchess. If you push me, Edward, I could guide you to St. Pancras. The Vat Controller was hesitant.
We don't have time, Edward.
But the old engine was adamant. I'm not going to leave another engine here, sir. Hamilton knows the way to London, and at this point, we'll be back at Tidmouth without her help. The Vat Controller sighed.
Let's get a move on.
Are you sure you can push me in my coaches? Don't you worry, Edward replied. He switched over and buffered up to the brake coach. On Sodor, we have a saying. Little engines can do big things. Yes, they certainly can, chuckled Duchess. Edward pushed and puffed, not stopping for 1 minute to rest. With Hamilton's directions, London City soon came into sight. Edward felt even better when he crossed over the switches and trundled under the signals into St. Pancras. Edward felt better when he crossed over the switches, trundled under the signals, and pulled into St. Pancras station. He chuckled to himself. I can only imagine how Gordon felt thinking this was King's Cross. With one last effort, he pushed Hamilton to the tail end of the platform and drew alongside on the opposite line. Thank you for helping me, Edward. That's quite all right. I couldn't have made it without your help. Once my passengers depart, let me show you to a washdown. Provided you can push me, of course. The Fat Controller stepped out of Edward's cab, and his family disembarked the train with Sydney, a warm cup of tea in his hand.
We made it! 5 minutes to spare.
He looked at the hole in his suit.
Hopefully there's a suit shop here.
He looked around. His eyes wandered to the front of Hamilton's footplate. She had a very special crest in front of her brake pipe. Then he looked at the crowd next to the train. He quickly realized who was on board.
Edward,
he whispered.
Do you know what train you've saved?
Edward panted. A very heavy one, sir.
It's the Royal train.
Edward's eyes darted open. I rescued what train?
Shush.
A young-looking man was quick to spot him. Mother, look! It's Edward! Sir Topham Hatt. Queen Elizabeth II was surprised to see him in such a state.
Your Majesty.
The Fat Controller and his family bowed, along with Edward's crew. This is quite unexpected, sir. Aren't you supposed to be at the palace for the ceremony?
My deepest apologies, ma'am. We've had a bit of confusion and delay on our travels.
The Queen chuckled. So I see. They were very kind, ma'am. Edward here helped to ensure we got here on time. Is that true? Oh, it was nothing, Your Majesty. Well, Sir Charles, from what my son has been reading in the books written about it, your Northwestern Railway is well known for helping those in need. Prince Charles spoke next. I never get tired of your stories, Edward. Getting a chance to run after being sidelined for so long, saving a traction engine from scrap, rescuing your friend James when he was in trouble. I'll be a great man if I end up like you. Edward smiled. Thank you, Your Highness. The Queen stroked her chin. Sir Charles, because we've already had so much confusion and delay, why not have the ceremony here?
Here? But Your Majesty, we're filthy.
Out of her bag, Queen Elizabeth pulled a special award. It looked like a steam engine's whistle. And you got that way by proving yourself worthy of this railway medal for your services to not only British Rail, but the Northwestern as well. She personally handed him the award.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty. It gives me great pleasure to receive this award on behalf of my railway and all those working on it, including my engines.
Edward smiled at the Fat Controller. The two of them were very proud of what they had done that day. Prince Philip handed his son a large medal. The young man cleared his throat. Gallant Edward, who went out of his way to help an engine in need. It's my pleasure to present you with this special crest, signifying to all that you have truly been a royally useful engine. He placed the medal on Edward's splasher. He, his crew, and the Hatt family posed for a photo.